The fundamental thing that happened, and the greatest calamity, is not that there was no love or support when you were a child. The greater calamity, which was caused by that first calamity, is that you lost the connection to your essence, to your authentic self. That is much more important than whether your mother or father loved you or not. So that's the good news. The good news is that the problem isn't what happened 25 years ago, or 30 years ago, or 45 years ago. That's the good news, because if the problem was what happened all those years ago, you couldn't fix it. It's over, it's finished. Because you can't go back and change even what happened 5 minutes ago, never mind what happened decades ago. But if the problem is that you lost the connection to yourself, that you can fix. Because you can regain that connection. And you're not going to walk out of this session completely knowing how to do that. But maybe, if some of my messages got across, you will walk out of the session with a sense of how you lost connection with yourself, with a sense of how it shows up when you're not being authentic, with some compassion for yourself, and with perhaps a somewhat enhanced ability that when you go to work and you have this tendency to take on the pain of others and the trauma of others, to recognize what is it in you that resonates with the same energy, and to realize that's not about you in the present, but it's about you as a child. And therefore, to be able to stay in the present compassionately with those people who are acting out, but also to stay in the present compassionately with yourself. Okay? That's the message. Now, I know that there was a question earlier, which let me address right now very quickly. What happens in one of these situations where there's two of you doing a shift, and there's 50 clients in the house with you at the shelter, and somebody starts acting out, and you've got this dilemma between how do you deal with this person who's acting out, and they're going to have all this impact on the other people who are already upset and stressed and traumatized and so on. How do you handle that? Well, I'm not sure I can tell you the exact answer how to handle that, but I can give you a guideline that I suggest you follow or consider following. One is, the time to practice playing tennis is not in the middle of a game. Okay? So if you're playing a game of tennis, that's not the time to practice serving. You're going to lose. So you have to practice this before you get into the game. So first of all, prepare yourself for that possibility that this is going to happen. There's going to be somebody's going to be acting out really badly, and you're going to have to be having to deal with that person, calm them down, bring them back to a more balanced state, and at the same time you're dealing with the upset that it's causing for the rest of the clients. Well, my suggestion is that you do a bit of discussion of this on the job. And if there's two of you on the job, have a discussion and say, okay, say to your work partner, or how are you feeling today? If somebody acts out today, are you up to handling it? Are you up to going in there and just staying calm and present? No, I tell you, and maybe I've said it in the morning. I've had people, these highly addicted, crystal meth-driven people. I've had people standing this close to my face and screaming at me. And on some days, I was able to stay totally calm, not take it personally in any way at all, just see it as their unrest, they're acting out their pain, their fear, their anger, and I can just receive it and stay with it, and within a minute or two, the situation settles down. On another day, if I'm not feeling so good and I'm stressed and I react, then the situation escalates. So check in with yourself that day. How am I feeling today? Who here is capable of handling today if somebody acts out? And make that decision. And then that's the designated person. And then the other person's job will be to be with the others and to calm them down. In other words, you do some practice, you do some preparation. So you're not in a reactive mode, but you're in a responsive mode. Response means that you take responsibility, that you're not automatically triggered, but that you're simply acting in the present moment. So if you've got that kind of partner that you're working with, just make that decision today, doing this shift, Or maybe it depends on who's acting out. Maybe some person triggers you more than the other person. Then it's the other person who should deal with it. So just make those decisions. And then make it your conscious decision that, okay, today it's going to be me with such and such a person. I'm going to stay present. I'm not going to take it personally, as best I can, as best I can. And then my partner's job will be to stay with the others, rather than both of you running around, triggered and reactive. So that would be my tentative answer to that particular question. Try it, see if it works.